Hi there, welcome to another edition of Inside the Hangarbay. This is the first edition where you're not going to see my pretty face, which is probably a good thing really. So anyway, going on from what I've been talking about on Imperial Shipyards about doing Photoshop tutorials, this is the first of many, hopefully, Photoshop tutorials. Right now I'm looking at my computer screen, and I posted something on Imperial Shipyards, and I've offered to do banners for anyone who wants me to do them a custom banner. So what you can see here are some of the ones that I've done already. And the first person up is the Clone Commander. So actually Clone Commander can do his own banners, but he's asked me to do one for him, so that's what I'm going to do. So this is Mr. Clone Commander here. Hi Jules, if you don't mind, I would like to be the first. I'd like to be on the list for a new banner, please. So you're going to be first. So the first thing I'm going to do as part of this tutorial thing is to just show you how to do some lettering. Because really I think Clone Commander's really, he's as good as me really, but he's just, I think his lettering could probably do with a little bit of work. So we will work on lettering for this session. So I'm going to come off the screen now and hopefully come back to you in a moment with a bit of Photoshop. Okay, hi everybody, and I'm back. I've now loaded up Photoshop, and I'm now going to show you how to work with text effects. This is my standard banner size. The image size is 1024 pixels wide by 119 high and a resolution of 372. Now the first thing I'm going to do is, obviously I want to introduce some text. So generally I will start with text that is white. Now let's just set the text size at 12 and enter in the text. So it's Clone Commander. Now the text that I use quite a lot of, and I'd recommend you go to sites like 1001 free fonts, download a load of text that you like, because it does give you a lot of flexibility. As you can see, I've got lots of text, lots of different text that I use, that I've downloaded over the last, gosh, quite a while. Now, so you've got the text up. Now one tool that I use quite a lot is a tool which you use. You right click on your layers menu, you right click on the layer that you want on the text, and you go to blending options. Now blending options gives you lots of different options on Photoshop. You've got drop shadow, which is something I tend to introduce quite a lot. So if you select drop shadow and then you click on it, you get a drop shadow menu. I don't tend to use the distance too much. Some people like to go quite far away. I tend to keep it quite close. The spread is basically contrast, I suppose, like a contrast control, and then the size kind of softens it all up. So I kind of keep the settings on the size quite low, spread about 30%, and that gives you a nice bit of, it brings the text forward. Another interesting thing you can do with text to give it a bit of interest is to use the Magic Wand tool, which is this tool on the left hand, well, my menu bar is on the left, my toolbar is on the left, so Magic Wand tool, there, and I use it to select. Basically the Magic Wand tool will allow you to pick out colours. So if you click on a colour, it will highlight, it will select anything on that image that is that colour. So in this case it's keeping to white. So now I've highlighted, you see the lines that are moving there. It's highlighted all the white text, and then you go to select, and if you go down to modify and contract, you can actually contract those lines by however many pixels you like. So I'll contract that by 3 pixels. There we go. Now one thing that you can do is to pop an image into that. So I've got an image here that I've picked out, and if I take rid of that image there, edit, copy, you can go edit and paste into, and instantly you've got an interesting effect on the text. try blending that. So you can go and blend that. You go to inner shadow. That always creates a nice effect, inner shadow. There you go. Okay. And so there you go. Already an interesting text effect. I will flatten that, rasterize that outer layer of text, and then if I go to filter, render, lighting effects, I can now add lightness to certain parts of that text and darken other parts. There we go. And that can create quite an interesting effect. You can also, if I wanted to, add a colour to that part of the text, the outer part of the text, I can just add, let's say, if I want to make it look kind of goldish, let's say. There you go, you see? So it's quite interesting what you can do. I can also add another tool that I use is lens flare. A bit of lens flare, and remember this is only going to be on the background part of the text, not the second section that I've done, which is the image that I pasted into it. So there you go. Already you've got some interesting text. Now what I would probably, if I was going to give you some lessons and classes or whatever, I'm going to set you some homework, what I would say is, if you're wanting to make interesting text, is to work with the blending options, work with the select and contract certain parts of the text and copy and paste into that, use the different blending options like I say again, and just play around with those different tools, and you'll find that if you use different texts, different elements of those tools. So if you go to blending, you've got bevel, which I use quite a lot. You've got a bevel menu there, play with those settings, and it doesn't take you long once you start playing with it. It's a very powerful tool. Once you start playing with it, you can really get some interesting effects. So there you go, that's just the first part really. Thank you for tuning in, and I will come back to you soon with some more exciting Photoshop tutorials. Thank you.